Hello, and thank you for joining me today for my nonprofit servant leadership profile presentation. My name is LaDonna Patterson, and I'm the one that is not wearing the Wonder Woman crown, and I will be your host today. Today's presentation will give you some insight on the Salvation Army as it serves people and its communities as servant leaders and how they put their servant leadership into action. In the East End of London in 1852, William Booth, as an evangelist, sought salvation for those who were lost and did not know Christ. He intended to motivate those who were not on a path that was Christ-like and needed to change their lives for the better. Generally, those people were considered as the drunkard, homeless, streetwalkers, and thieves. Those type of people were often frowned upon and looked at as there was no hope for them. William and his wife Catherine believed through the salvation of Christ, no person was hopeless, and began their movement of faith-based servant leadership to encourage and develop others without discrimination. They began to share the principles of servant leadership by holding meetings in church to share the word of Jesus Christ and letting their followers know that they were not forsaken. William's ultimate goal was to lead followers back to church where they could unify and help others, especially the poor. With his efforts, he was able to create a volunteer movement that provided community efforts for the poor while maintaining a mission of spiritual guidance to follow Christ. Before long, William had encouraged thousands to not only convert to Christianity, but to build a following based on his eagerness to serve others through servant principles of healing, listening, and empowering others to seek out better no matter what their circumstances. Helping the community through servant leadership. Implementing servant leadership principles like compassion, empathy, stewardship, and awareness has helped the Salvation Army build its organization based on volunteer efforts to support the needs of others. They share in the diligence of working to provide school supplies for the less fortunate. They serve others to fight poverty and rely heavily on volunteer efforts and charitable contributions. To dedicate time to building successful youth programs and even building food pantries for the hungry. They continue to have a positive impact on communities because their outreach efforts extend to over 124 countries and internationally speak 175 languages to ensure there is no one left out of their relief efforts. Moreover, the Salvation Army also took a servant leadership approach to creating jobs and business development designed specifically related to minority and women-owned business. These efforts to persuade and challenge the status quo was critical to the expansion of minority community growth efforts, where the majority large-scale production efforts did not share in the idea as it was thought to bring less value to the community. Through the Salvation Army's diligence, they were not only able to build within the minority community, but they were able to employ many, which gave a positive impact within those communities. Helping the community through servant leadership continued. Additionally, outside of the manual labor and volunteer efforts, the Salvation Army intends to engage emotionally to connect with their followers to create a sense of belonging and community transformation. The Salvation Army seeks to use servant leadership to look outside of oneself by creating feelings of belonging to something bigger. In doing so, they take time to recognize how families can benefit in special times like in holiday situations. During Christmas especially, the Salvation Army takes time to run charitable partnerships and large and small organizations, along with government agencies to take up donations collecting funds to assist low-income families and the elderly. This effort also allows families or individuals that can help the less fortunate to be Christmas angels for those participating in the program and give back to the wishes of the family's needs. Servant leadership principles. Finally, just as the Salvation Army, the servant leadership principles are extremely important to me also. I have a passion for helping others feel a sense of belonging within any organization that I represent. I am a conscious leader who understands the importance of having strong leadership values, characteristics, and qualities. But I also recognize engaging my followers holding extreme values as well. Since a servant leadership is recognized as possessing an extraordinary presence and is more in accordance with a calling in one's life, I do recognize servant leadership principles and values are highly important, and in no particular order, they are listening, empathy, stewardship, commitment to growth, and awareness. Listening is key because not only do people want to be heard, but they want to feel as if they're saying something that is important enough to be listened to. Even in most disagreements, strong communication and listening can help reduce frustrations. This will be key in organization and collaborative environments. Empathy is so valuable because it helps servant leaders lead selflessly and understand the needs of others. Stewardship shares in being responsible and resourceful. It is also a trust factor that will help keep followers engaged and comforted that you have their interests in mind. Commitment to growth is valuable because it will help keep your interactions organic and moving. Developing others is vital to being a servant leader, and within an organization will be necessary to keep the organization thriving. Awareness will help me stay focused as a servant leader to be thoughtful to situations, strengths, and opportunities around me. This value will help ensure that I know my audience and build rapport with my followers. I will integrate all of these values within my organization by being friendly and aware that I will need to adapt my servant leadership styles to others and be supportive of their needs while building a professional relationship with me. The end. Thanks for watching.